2025. It's been an interesting start to 2022 here for a lot of people here and around the world. But today we are going to talk about what's happening in Las Vegas specifically. We actually don't have a guest today, so Ruth and I were going to be just conversating about the real estate market and some marketing ideas for 2022. So before we dive into all that, Ruth, what is happening in real estate?
Well, yes, lots of main topics in real estate right now. Whoops, come on, there we go. Yes, 21 days of inventory. Yes, 20. Yeah, and yesterday it was 20. So I think as the month goes on, we're probably going to get back up to about, I would say 28, 29 days. At the rate it's going. We have listed 140 homes yesterday, which is fantastic because that means we listed more than we sold. So that helps the inventory, right? And so far this year, we've sold 627 homes in Clark County. That's 90 a day. And last year, for the total year, we were doing 139 a day. And I think it will probably get back up there, Max. I really believe that. Last year, we were only doing 77 a day, and we had a record year. In 2021, we sold 50,735 homes, which is a record, with record low interest rates, new construction going on, people moving here at the rate of 139 people a day. Just so much activity going on in our wonderful city. One of the things that did happen is that the median price jumped up to $430,000. So on my stat sheet, I show that if you buy a home for $430,000, your monthly payment with principal, interest, taxes, and insurance at the current interest rate of 3%, and that's giving you a credit score under 740, your payment would be $1,973. Now, the interesting thing is, and I'm going to show you this. There we go. Right now on the market, we have 1,800 rentals. 1,066 of those are above $2,000 a month. Yes. So do you think you should buy or rent? That's the big question. The other interesting just trivia, 33 of those rents were between $75,000 a month and $10,000 a month of the 734 of the 1,066 that were above 2,000. So I found that to be pretty interesting. Yeah. When it got up into the 5 digits, I said, I got to report on this. There is a mansion for rent for $75,000 a month, fully furnished. It's awesome, but it really is awesome. So that should be, no, it isn't. It's in McDonald Ranch, and it is absolutely fabulous. Very ornate furniture, but just absolutely incredible. So this market is hot. I mean, if you look at the number of investors this year who have bought homes, they're buying them at 37 a day. And Max, you'll love this. I mean, because the return on investment is like more than 5%. So why wouldn't you? And if you buy right, then that's what you're going to end up with, a healthy investment. And with all the people that are moving into Las Vegas, that's really good news, because we do need homes for people to rent. And last year, we had a record year for new home builds as well. So let me put this down here, and I'm going to bring you back up. And we're going to talk about what's going on in the news. Let's see, I don't want you there. I want you here. Aha. Okay. I've learned how to move this stuff around. I'm so proud of myself.
Pretty quick now.
There we go. So yesterday I did report that Summerlin land sells for $135 million, and they're going to put hundreds of houses on that piece of land. And it's, it's Town Center in Tropicana.
Right.
And hundreds of homes, Pulte and Toll Brothers.
Mm-hmm. I think it's 530, like 530
something
plus
like
homes.
531, yeah. I think you're right on. So that was something big in the news. The other thing, when it comes to real estate, okay, let me move this back over. Come on, move over. Hang on, we'll move you over. maybe.
Ah, you jinxed yourself, Ruth.
Yeah, I thought I could do it, huh? I think maybe because it's a gallery of pictures, it doesn't want to move, but I'm going to keep
Sure.
trying here for a second.
Okay.
Bear with me. Well, maybe not. Nope. Okay, that's fine. The Las Vegas U.S. housing market ends the 2021 hot amid pandemic. So meaning that, of course, we had a record year. No matter what you say, the pandemic didn't slow us down. It probably speeded us up because people found out that they didn't want to, maybe they were in their home so much they wanted a different home.
Right.
And they figured it was the right time to do it, plus with the interest rates. And economists with listing site Zillow predicted last month that America's tight supply of homes and low mortgage rates are not likely to change. And they expect prices and sales to keep climbing at historically high rates in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And Las Vegas is at record levels following a year with sellers firmly in control, as we know. And the median price started out at $346 in 2021, and it today is $430,000. So big gains in equity for people, which solidifies our market and actually shields it against any economic downturns, things like that would, decrease the price of a home. People are still going to have equity.
Right.
The only thing that we have to worry about is the people in forbearance that didn't get jobs and maybe can't make their payment. But again, they are not in foreclosure.
No.
So what's going to happen? The investor's going to buy their home, and then they're going to rent another home that another investor bought. So the cycle is going to be healthy. Home builders aren't closing nearly as many sales in Southern Nevada as they did during the mid-2000 bubble, which is good because they were selling them to anybody.
Right.
And we don't want that again, that's for sure. And the market moves. It's going to continue to move. We have interest rates are probably going to go up to 4% by the end of the year. Sellers are going to continue to want to move up, move down, move in to Vegas. Renters are going to keep coming into Vegas, and investors are going to keep buying homes. So, there's really nothing wrong with our market. It's really, really hot. And that's what the Review Journal had to report today. And then the other thing that they did was they reported on, and I'm really going to see if I can't get this one over here. Darn it. I'm going to hide us. Maybe I can do that and hide myself and then bring me on and then bring you on. And we'll fool it. Come on. Bingo. Yeah.
There you go.
It worked. I love it when it works. Okay. So the Review Journal, Eli Siegel picked 10 of the top deals that happened in Las Vegas, and really some cool things going on in Vegas. The Cosmopolitan is our first one, and Blackstone announced that it was selling the flashy Cosmopolitan for $5.65 billion,
Wow.
nearly $4 billion above its purchase price in 2014. Can you believe it? And as part of the deal, the casino giant MGM Resorts International is acquiring the Cosmos operation side for more than $1.6 billion.
Wow, that means Cosmos going to be folded into MGM. It's operationally.
Yes, yeah. I don't know about that. We'll see. I know. I'm not like sold on that one.
Right.
And then the Fontainebleau, number 2. Jeffrey Soffer reacquired the still unfurnished project in February, and he teamed up with Koch Industries to acquire it through a process that lets people avoid foreclosure. And after prior owner Steve Witkoff suspended construction of the North Strip resort amid the early chaos of the pandemic. So it's unfinished, but it looks like they're going to possibly start working on it. What have you heard about that?
Yeah, I haven't heard much of anything on the Fontainebleau, but man, that property's been cursed for over 2 decades now. Just starting at the wrong time, right before the financial crisis, and then picking up steam in 17, 18, as they were trying to rebuild, and then the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
The challenge with that property is that it doesn't have, it's just a condo slash, there's no gaming, there's no, attraction. So it's literally another, residential condo. And who knows what they're, they may try to make it into like a timeshare for some of it, probably is my guess.
See, I think that's a brilliant idea, actually,
Right.
because people are still coming here in record numbers. So.
Right. Yeah. Right. And it's a beautiful property, in a very good part of, the location wise. It's just been kind of sad that it's been sitting, almost unfinished for almost 15, 16 years now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Number 3, the $25 million mansion. So billionaire, Anthony Hsieh, founder of the mortgage firm LoanDepot, bought a newly built mansion in Henderson foothills for $25 million.
So he ended up buying that. Yeah. I've seen this property on several of like the Facebook, videos and stuff like that from real estate agents. They had a party last year, so it's interesting to see the Anthony Hsieh end up buying it. It's a beautiful property.
It is. And Blue Heron founder Tyler Jones, the founder of Blue Heron, built and sold the house, confirmed that Hsieh leased it back to Blue Heron, allowing the luxury builder to keep showing it as a showcase home. So 15,000 square feet. It has 2 infinity pools, a glass wine water wall, a sky lounge with panoramic views, a DJ booth, an elevator. I mean, just the list goes on. Yeah, that's quite a deal.
Yeah.
And number 4 is the Sands. So casino operator Las Vegas Sands Corp announced in March that it was selling the Venetian Palazzo and the former Sands Expo and Convention Center, now known as the Venetian Expo, for $6.25 billion to Apollo Global Management casino landlord VC Properties. And Sands is exiting the strip with the deal as it focuses on Asia, but it isn't leaving Las Vegas entirely, and I don't know. They kind of let us hanging there on that one.
Yeah. I don't know what other properties they own, other than the Palazzo and Venetian. But that's a big, that's a big land mark family. From the Adelsons, obviously.
Yeah.
In the days of Adelson, and so I mean, it's sad to see the ownership change hands there.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, when you're in Vegas, you notice the little nuances that change over time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went into the Bellagio over the holidays. I was so disappointed. When Steve Wynn built that, it was an Italian themed casino with the yellow and the red little shades over the tables, and everything was totally Italian. You walk in there now, it's a mishmash of everything, and it has no warmth or feeling to it as far as a theme goes.
Right.
And themes are popular, obviously, because people go back to that theme they like. Correct. And we used to love the Bellagio, but we went there once. We were going to go to the conservatory, but it was packed, so we didn't stay to see it. John with his hip, he wasn't up for that.
Right.
Waiting in line and things like that. But anyway, but we just couldn't believe the change.
Yeah.
City Center, let's go on to number 5. MGM Resorts sold the remaining pieces of its City Center complex in 2021. It announced in July that it was buying out its partner for more than $2.1 billion, giving MGM full ownership of the Aria and the Vdara, and that it would sell the 2 hotels to Blackstone for $3.89 billion and lease them back. So,
yeah, that's a nice little quick $1.7 billion flip on a big casino, and they still maintain the operations.
Yeah.
So.
But we've seen that, and I think we talked about that earlier in the year, that these hedge funds were not buying homes, coming in and swooping up homes. They were coming in and swooping up casinos and then leasing them back to the casinos for the bigger bucks. And I think that was a brilliant idea and it helped everybody, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it gave MGM free cash flow, right, and money back in their pocket to operate. Yeah. So they're not laden with all this, dead equity. I mean,
exactly.
This is what the the big boys, the big conglomerates are doing is like they're trying to get rid of their debt equity as fast as possible so that they can deploy that cash somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
Frank has a comment. They had applied for a gaming license.
the Fontainebleau, right?
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, that was that was 4 minutes ago. So I don't know. Frank, what property are you referring to, dear? Let me know. So moving on to number 6. So the MGM growth buyout, Caesars Entertainment spinoff, VC Properties, reached a deal to acquire MGM Resorts spinoff, MGM Growth Properties, in a $17 billion plus deal. Oh my gosh. So MGM's growth real estate holdings include the MGM Grand, Mandalay Bay, the Mirage, Park MGM, Luxor, New York, and the Excalibur. Oh my gosh.
It's an interesting, strategy that MGM's deploying right now. I mean, basically they're getting rid of all their real estate.
Yes.
But still maintaining the ability to operate in those casinos and leasing back. It'll be interesting where it comes, how that plays out in the next few years. But I think for now, from a cash, balance sheet standpoint, it's a pretty brilliant move. They're getting rid of all their debt, have a ton of cash now, and then they can operate. And then the gaming revenue for the last they said December, November were like record-breaking months for the Strip, like over $1 billion in profits each of those months. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yes, I know, and I think it's brilliant what they're doing. I really think it's brilliant, like you. Number 7, we've got the Mirage. Hard Rock International announced in December that it's buying the Mirage's operations side from MGM Resorts for more than $1 billion. Through the deal, it said it plans to build a guitar-shaped hotel tower on the Strip. I did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know either.
That was a shocker to me. I think that that's not a bad idea because it's kind of a boring-looking hotel.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came up in the days of where they were still building the 3 towers, that come to the middle.
Well, the Mirage was the first of its kind on the Strip because they tore down the Casablanca, I think it was,
right.
and there was a mobile home park behind there. I'm trying to remember way back then in the early 90s what was going on. But yeah, I mean, when it was built, there was nothing like it.
Correct.
Yeah. And it was
pretty much every hotel afterwards.
Well, I
think the brilliance of Steve Wynn, right? When he built the Curve Hotel, everybody was like, this is weird. But man, it is a work of art on the Strip that stands out.
It does. It really does. And then we go to number 8, the Palms. So Station Casinos parent, Red Rock Resorts, announced in May that it was selling the Palms for $650 million to the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. I didn't know this. I don't know where I was, but known over the years as the party spot, the Palms has been closed since the onset of the pandemic, and the new owners are going to open it this spring. So that's news, but that's good news.
Yeah, that is good news.
Yeah.
Red Rock's been buying and selling that thing back and forth for 10 years, for two decades now.
Yes. So. Yeah. Frank is saying the Mirage was it was a Steve Wynn. He owned it. And I have to tell y'all, John and I were in real estate at the time, and some of the older people, we were in our 40s, and the people that were in their 60s in real estate, they were saying, "Oh my God, it's never going to make money," and it made money from day one. I mean, it had to make $1 million a day, and it made more. So there you go. Steve Wynn was awesome. What a visionary.
Yeah, he knows how to operate, and that's why the Wynn Hotel is still one of the best hotels in town right now.
It is. Let me go back here to the Palms for just a second. One of the reasons why I like the Palms is I remember when the Rio was built. When I think it was one of the first off-strip hotels that was built back in the day. And I don't think it's ever really been adequately maintained. I haven't walked in there for a couple of years. We had a client that we had to meet there 3 or 4 years ago. It smells.
The Rio or the Palms?
The Rio.
Yeah.
And the Palms, though, you walk into that and it's kind of fresh and clean and crispy. So I was glad that the Palms was there because maybe, I don't know, I just don't care for the
Yeah,
Rio.
they really, I mean, and they haven't upgraded the theme and the interior of the Rio. I mean, I haven't been there in 2 years either, since the pandemic hit. But yeah, you know, I mean, yeah. So and now with the World Series not being held there anymore, I mean, they're. I think they're. I thought that they've been in talks about bringing that hotel down and building something
I was
different
just going to say that they're
for
going
a
to
while.
implode it for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, for sure.
We
I mean,
need
there's
it. I mean,
no.
it's a great location.
It really is. They just need to, yeah. I mean, something different needs to be there because it's a huge acreage that they own there. From the parking to everything around there.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and there's like people don't know this, but there's like 3 or 4 ways to get there around the back too. So I mean, it's a great. I mean, there's so many different levels of entry. Raider Stadium would be that would have been a fantastic location for Allegiant Stadium if they had that property. And that I think there were rumors of that when they first started, but that never came true.
Never happened. Yeah. And then we have Calnev Ari. The owners of the mining from Heart of Nature purchased the bulk of Calnev Ari, a tiny town some 70 miles south of Vegas for $8 million, acquiring around 550 acres of mostly vacant real estate from Nancy Kidwell. Heart of Nature, which supplies the agricultural industry and wouldn't do mining in Calnev Ari, outlined plans for the new 100,000 square foot industry facility, more restaurants, a larger hotel, and home for staffers who work at the facility. That's another thing I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting now that the late Senator Harry Reid has passed away, what his estate's going to do. Because I know Harry Reid owns quite a bit of property here in Southern Nevada. And so
his son's a real wheeler dealer in real estate.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see if they maintain the properties or start unloading here.
Yeah, I know all the dirty laundry there. Hockey house. Here's something. Golden Knights defenseman Alex Pietrangelo sold a Summerlin mansion to teammate Max Pacioretty for $6.4 million in August, less than a year after he bought it for $6 million. Well, that's not a big deal. So when how do you say that?
I think it's Pietrangelo.
Pietrangelo, thank you. Acquired it. The 8,321 square foot home came with a 55 plus foot long pool, a putting green, 3 fire pits, a game in the basement, and a below ground garage that could hold 15 cars.
Wow.
Yeah. So that wasn't quite a big flip.
Only 400,000.
Yeah, but only 400. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So interesting. That's what's going on in the top 10 picks for 2021 in Las Vegas, according to the Review Journal. And Eli Siegel's one of my favorite writers there, reporters, journalists. He's very good. My only situation I have with him is when he reports on real estate, he basically takes the snapshot that the Board of Realtors provides through applied analysis and just, kind of recants it a little bit. But he's not a realtor, so he really can't add some of the pungent things that should be added to, but he reports it and most people are fine with that. So it's just me.
Yeah, you got it.
And then what do we have here? Sports. Vegas Nation game day, Raiders versus Chargers with the playoffs. Now this is, okay, you can chime in.
Yeah, no, this is a pretty big game here because it has playoff implications. I believe there's like some historical event happening if I forgot if the Colts end up losing or tying, then basically the Raiders and the Chargers get in. Wow. Right. Basically, both of them. So it would behoove them to actually not play the game at all and just kneel. That's one of the controversies of the cop picks is like,
what do you say?
If the Colts end up losing this weekend,
okay, got that.
I think they play today. Then the Raiders and Chargers don't need to play at all, and they both will make the playoffs.
Oh, I got you. So let's see who wrote this one. I don't see who wrote this one. It's winner take all in the regular season finale between the Chargers and Raiders on Sunday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium. The Raiders are seeking their first playoff appearance since 2016 and hope a win over the Chargers will get them there. So, but you're saying they don't have to do that
if the Colts lose.
if they, yeah.
Yeah. So if the Colts win today, then whoever wins between the Raiders and the Chargers, I think, makes it. So it's a pretty big game. And
so if the Colts lose, there's not going to be a game on Sunday?
No, there will be.
Oh, okay.
It's just they don't need to. They literally
don't need to play. Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing is like they said for the first time in history, we would it would behoove them to both teams to kneel on every play to make the game 0-0.
Oh,
because,
I see. I'm not into that jargon, but
Right.
Thank you for clarifying it for
Right.
me.
But if the Colts win, then they have to actually play and try to win the game. So it should be exciting because I mean this market is great because there's a lot of San Diego fans that are going to be here this weekend.
Wow, cool. Yeah. Well, the Golden Knights won the other night, and I think they're number one in the league now in their division, I should say. And all of a sudden, swoosh, we came right up to the top with both our teams.
Right. No, it's interesting. And there's a lot of sports teams coming here. I mean, we got the Super Bowl in 2024. I mean, that was announced. I mean, that's going to be a huge event. Be prepared for that in the next couple of years. But I might try. I mean, I think every sports fan, especially a football sports fan, wants to go to the Super Bowl. So this might be an opportunity. I might have to plop down a couple $1,000.
Well, you better do it now.
Like now, right? Like who cares who goes to the Super Bowl just to be there? So so it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, this town is just on fire. And
on fire. And I was at the Strip yesterday, just meeting with some friends, and right in front of the Bellagio, actually over at the Paris, and it is crowded. People are out and about. This town is alive.
Yes, it is.
One thing about the Bellagio, still their water show, still pretty magnificent.
Yes,
it's still a sight to see. I've seen it so many times, but seeing it, especially across, sitting at the Paris, at the rooftop bar, at the beer bar there, it was incredible when it was going off. And so.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did you see where the Oakland A's were thinking of imploding the Tropicana?
I heard that, right?
But that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a weird location too.
Well, do you know that Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard is one of the busiest intersections in the country? Not just Las Vegas.
That's right.
They can't do that.
It's a terrible the ideal place, if anyone's listening from the A's organization, is the Rio. Yeah. A stadium there would make the most sense. There's 3 or 4 ways to get there. It's right off the freeway. And if you really build it, you can build a lot of entrances, and that acreage is perfect for a stadium. Yeah. I mean, it's just ideal, that property.
Well, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Because Tropicana, I mean, right on the Strip, Las Vegas.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Summerlin, I think, offered them land for free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who knows? We'll see. It's exciting. It's just, I've been in this town since 1987.
Right.
There's never a dull moment in this town, ever.
No, there's a lot of activity, a ton of activity here. I mean, you can feel the buzz, right? And the buzz, it's not the hype that we felt in 06, 07, where people were just buying homes and there was no other economic activity. What's happening today in Las Vegas is there's a ton of economic activity coming here. Businesses and sports teams and companies moving here. And so if we could ever build, if UNLV and maybe one other university came here, we need one more university to grow the skill base, right? Like especially in tech and engineering. If we can build the skill base here, I mean, this town would be even bigger and booming. Right. Yeah. So, and maybe they're thinking about that as more tech companies decide to move, out of California here, and that might become the case.
I think a couple maybe I don't know. In the fall, we reported about some of the tech companies, their employees moving here because they could work remotely.
Right.
And so that's going to continue to happen. Yeah. So. That's Vegas for you. That is Vegas.
Right.
And
So what's happening this week in training here, Ruth?
So we're doing a contracts class on Monday from 2 to 5, and it's all about buyer brokerage and how to present the buyer brokerage, why you should do it, what advantages it gives you, and how to present it. Most people shy away from it, I think, because, oh my gosh, here's another document, and the buyer feels like they're bound in and what have you. But if you present it properly, it's really a good thing. So we're going to have that class 2 to 5. We have appetizers and happy hour when we do the 2 to 5. So we always have a good time. If you come to the classroom or you Zoom, you still get live classroom credits. And if you come to the classroom, it's at 8400 West Sahara. And you can sign up at www.bee.vegas.
Yeah. If you want to stop showing clients around and then eventually having them buy from another real estate agent, come to this class. Come to this class and save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of wasted time.
Well, you know what of course, Jimmy and I created this class. Jimmy gets most of the kudos. I'm just the sidekick, but I add my little information here and there, my knowledge base. But what I like about it is, even if you don't want them to sign it, you can even read it to them or read parts of it, paraphrase it, and show them, your value. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that you need to do, especially with buyers, is show them your value. Nowadays, they come to you, they already know what they want. They just want you to find that exact home that they want, that dream home that they want. That's the value. And then negotiate the best deal for them.
Right. And protect them.
And of course, yes, I always, that's so, ingrained in my mind that we protect people. So anyway.
Absolutely. People don't understand that there's a lot of things that can go sideways in a real estate transaction. And if you don't have proper representation, I mean, it could cost you money, and time that you don't want to be a part of.
Well, and the other thing, what I've been seeing the past couple months is, and everybody that's a realtor out there or a buyer or a seller, what's going on is that the deal gets under contract. There's 15 to 18 ways a buyer and seller can get out of that contract during the due diligence period and other things that are in there, the loan contingency, the appraisal. And what we're finding is, the longer the escrow, the more opportunity the seller has to understand that they could get a better offer. And they've become a little bit, some people, some, not all, everybody, but a lot of sellers, they say, oh, hey, I'm not going to give you a loan extension. Why should I? I got somebody here that's going to pay me another $40,000, another $20,000. So, and I just told you what the median price went up again. So that's what's happening out there. So, it's so important to get a realtor who is qualified, who can negotiate for you, and who understands the contract.
Right.
And
understands the environment to help you, to build in language in the contract to protect you so that, sellers can't pull that on you.
You want the person to be already qualified that's going to buy the house, already qualified, so that you can close quickly, and it's only subject to the appraisal. Mm-hmm. And that's the way you want to go in there, and you want to, make it smooth as silk. If you can cut down the due diligence to 5-7 days instead of 10 to 15 days, do it. The loan contingency is only contingent on the appraisal. And when you come in with that type of a clean contract, and that the buyer's qualified, because that's where it's getting a hiccup right now. Loan companies are taking longer than you think to get all the documentation to underwriting. So I don't want to use too much jargon or I'll lose people, but you've got to make it clean and quick. Right.
You got to work with professionals all around in every piece of the transaction, especially the lender.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Max, it's been, I think we pulled it off without a guest today. Yeah, lots of information.
Lots of things happening here in Las Vegas, and it's going to continue here. 2022 is going to be a great year all around for the U.S. economically. Things are still heating up. And then we're going to get the circus of the midterm elections this year. So so stay tuned. It's going to be an interesting 2022.
Oh, my gosh. Gives me chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be in Vegas. Happy to be healthy. and just be happy.
Exactly right. Well, tune into Monday morning, 9 a.m. with Ruth for her show then.
Yes.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next weekend.